Maybe like just start by telling me a little bit about you and your family and your homeschool origin story, so to speak.
It's not a really long one. 2020 rolled around and COVID happened, and everybody was sort of stuck, and I decided to I don't know, I decided to sort of try and make their lives better at home. I had just had a newborn in January of 2020, so by the time that I guess COVID fully blew in, it was like summerish time, and I found something called Playing Preschool on Instagram, and it's like a preschool program for young children. I thought, okay, cool. And then I eventually learned I didn't even know what homeschooling was at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I eventually learned through being on those channels on social media that what I'm doing is homeschooling essentially. And I don't know, my kids just took well, my older kid, my little one was too little then, but yeah. And then I don't know, it just exploded. And then 2021 rolled around, and we signed him up for JK, but it was virtual because of all the things happening in the education system. Like my husband and I were not okay with any of it. And then so we did virtual, and it was a disaster. Like it was just, he melted down it was just awful. So
it's hard at that age to be online all day.
Yeah, it's a tough ask for sure. So so we sort of de-enrolled him, and then I decided to finish off the Playing Preschool curriculum, I guess, that I had purchased a year earlier. And then I think it was January 2022 where I was like, oh, he's growing and he's no longer in preschool. I don't know what to do. And so I started researching like a crazy person. I found so many different curriculums. And then I quickly realized that a lot of them were Christian based and Catholic based, and we are not those people. We're not religious. So I was like, I don't really know. I don't think it's like if I buy the Christian one, then I'd have to explain to him what faith is, and we're not really, he's too young for that right now. So anyways, and then I stumbled onto another one that was extremely expensive, and then I don't know how, but I think it was through Google searches I found you guys, and I have never looked back. It was just such like I there was a video that you did that was on the website explaining the kinder curriculum.
And okay, yeah, I remember that.
It wasn't a very long one. It was like 20 seconds. No, maybe I'm wrong, but like it wasn't a long video at all. And for some reason, it just spoke to me, like everything that you've outlined, everything that you sort of like, it was exciting. Like there were the pictures were exciting. Everything was just so anyway, so I and then I looked at the price and I was like, this is great. Like this is exactly because the other one I found that was non-religious was like up in the thousands.
Yeah. Just
to order, and then there were add-ons and stuff that we could do, and I'm like, we can't afford this right this moment. So yeah, and then so I ordered from you guys, and the books came super quickly. I don't even remember how, like a week or two had passed. I wasn't expecting, like I think I purchased in like January, February-ish, and they showed up by March. And I remember talking to Jamie about the books, because I was so gung-ho about having a library at home for my kids to go to all the time if they wanted to. And I was like, this is perfect because you guys have a recommended list of books for each, anyways, it was awesome. I fully committed to Schoolio then, and once we were done, the kinder curriculum, it was just such an easy decision to buy grade 1. I'll admit grade 1 was a bit harder to navigate for me because I was like, oh, there's social studies now, and then there's science. There's just so much more involved in grade 1, and I felt like a fish out of water. But it was a lot easier to. I followed your recommended schedule for the first little bit. I'm like, if I don't like it, if it doesn't work for us, I can change it. But for now, and that's really what I enjoy about Schoolio the most, because I can. There's a recommendation of when and what and how, like whether it's a Magic School Bus video, episode, whether it's a book, whether it's a YouTube video, or even the schedule. But essentially, like, I can start, like, you don't just, there's a word I used actually last week to my husband. Hold on, I'm trying to. You give people a runway, and then you sort of like start us off, and then once like we're there, we can switch to different areas if whatever doesn't work. Also, I discovered through using Schoolio that my child is neurodivergent, and I didn't know until well into grade 1 that he learns differently, because there are so many different things that you guys recommend. There's so many different things that I've learned to sort of supplement with because of your recommendations, that eventually it, sort of made sense to me that, okay, he learns through doing things, not necessarily through watching things or through, like, he needs hands-on experience, which helped us a lot, because I was able to buy like Play-Doh, or I was able to, sort of go from there and move forward. And I didn't even really know what neurodivergent child meant until I found you guys. And then the community and everybody talking about neurodivergence was like an eye-opener for me. Yes, that's basically it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Part of our neurodivergent friendly learning is that we have activity variation. So you can try and find those things that work best for your child. If he's a kinesthetic learner, likes to do things with his hands, then hopefully there's activities for that. And whenever you hit one that's not, you know how to alter it, right?
Yeah, it was really awesome to just, and then so I have a good basis of when my second one's starting kinder, but he's a bit below average in terms of like knowing what the kinder curriculum is now. So he'll be starting the kinder curriculum next year instead. So he's still not fully but now I know what to look out for with signs of neurodivergence and stuff like that, so I can navigate my way with the second one too. So it's very helpful.
Oh, that's awesome. And are you guys strictly books, or do you use digital as well?
So I signed up for digital because I don't know what he will be like. Well, I think it expires actually next year, my digital, but we're strictly books for now, because we sometimes even take the books outside. And so that helps sort of change the scene if they get too sick of our four walls.
Yeah.
And so right now it's just books.
Awesome. Great. So then I won't ask you about digital features.
Well, I do have it. I actually really enjoy how you guys have, like, the child learns along with we haven't done the digital part at all, but since I signed up for it through the family plan, I can see that, like, there's like a check, like a 1 out of whatever completed, and like it's like child-based learning, so he gets to do it when he's ready, kind of thing.
Yeah, you can do like the scheduling where you set the schedule and what lessons he does at what time of day, or you can just do like the open explore. if they just,
Yeah.
some people I think just use it as an alternative to watching YouTube. You know, it's like, go watch videos that are educational.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, whatever works.
Are your
Yeah.
kids into any like topics that like there's no unit for that would really like light them up?
I know I bought like a stack for grade 2. Um, I got butterflies, ponds, dinosaurs. I don't remember if there is a space one.
There's space, but I think it's like grade 4 to 6. So maybe like a young
Okay.
space. I'd love to do that actually, is take all the units and make like a higher grade level for the lower ones and a lower grade level for the higher ones.
My children are the older one is very into space, and he is only in grade 2. So, so I guess, yeah, so space, and then more like, and I know this is way too young, but engineering, like my 6-year-old knows parts of a train, like the locomotives and such, and the parts of the engine.
Yeah.
'Cause he's very into that.
Trains are really popular actually.
Sorry, trains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then heavy machinery I've heard too, like all the digging.
I was just about to say construction. We just had renovation done, and he was asking questions of the construction workers and
Cool.
getting in their way. Yeah. So, but I don't have, like, it was honestly, actually, it was probably the coolest thing to be able to order, because he's also really into butterflies. We raise butterflies at home.
Oh, cool.
Not this year. There's not but every year prior to this year. And he's just been very into like the butterfly life cycles, and so to be able to buy that and to know that he's going to just love going through the book is so exciting for me. Like, I'm so excited for the start of our year.
That's awesome. That is so exciting when you can like, when you know they're going to be excited to do it rather than like fighting you on it.
Yeah. Math is usually the one we fight over, but
yeah, that's very common.
Yeah. Okay, that is what it is. But no, I don't have, I'm trying to remember. We really enjoyed the way that English was structured for grade 1. I haven't looked at grade 2, to be honest, at all, but
they're all structured.
Oh, okay. Well,
when they get to grade 4, they switch from doing those reading where it's like a genre or an author or whatever. At grade 4, they switch to novel studies, like reading on their own, doing the novel studies. But yeah, they're all that like integrated system.
Yeah, no, it's like he really enjoyed learning about different authors, and he really, like, there was a one Julia Donaldson unit, and he just, the Gruffalo became his favorite thing. And he was just so enthralled, and I really enjoy that you bring light to the different authors and the different genres. And he learned what a poem was, and he started writing his own poetry. Like, it was just really cool to see, you know, it's not something that I don't even think is covered in the one that was really, really expensive. I don't think they have unit studies like you guys do. So I'm just really happy I found you. Honestly, I would be lost. So.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. I'm so glad that we could create something to help you. That was our whole goal at the beginning. I don't know if you were like right at the beginning. I feel like you were one of the like earliest customers. But I know like in the beginning, there was like a group of customers just waiting for me to write more.
Oh.
And it was like, just the whole objective was like to make something that would help you guys, because it was 2020 and everyone was so lost. And we were just like, what can we make that will cover everything and be easy to use? And just like, oh, like my heart went out for everyone who was trying to learn how to homeschool in the middle of a pandemic, and
yeah,
like no community and no help. And Yeah, we just, so
It was awful.
that was our whole objective, was like, let's create something that's easy to use, that works for our neurodivergent kids, because that's who I'm homeschooling as well. And just like try to help people. So it's like, it fills my cup to talk to you guys.
No, it's definitely, I don't remember if I was one of the first ones, but I remember I found you in January 2021. Sorry, 2022. And I don't think there were as many products as there are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I actually found I found the kinder curriculum. Yeah, so I found the kinder curriculum and I was super happy because that was what I wanted. And I think at the time I was worried because I don't remember there being as many further grades. And so when so then I followed you on Instagram, and I joined the community, and there's a whole bunch of other things that I did that was part of Schoolio, and eventually you guys got more levels and grades, right? And then so if I felt more comfortable, like, okay, I can just see this through to the end, because I didn't want to look for other curriculums. I did not want that headache again. But
Start the hunt.
I think, yeah, I know. I think if you ever do get around to making a preschool one,
yeah,
that would be really cool. Not that I can benefit anymore. My kids are too old now. But back in the day, it would have been
before you know it, you'll be saying, "Can you guys make high school?"
Can you? Because that's unfortunately my future, and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have that created by the time you get there.
There's a lot for high school, so I don't blame you for not have that. I don't even know if I'll be able to teach it all. So
yeah, maybe one day. My kids transitioned back to public school for high school this year.
Oh, fun.
So our homeschooling has come to an end, other than when I help them with homework and make them study.
That's fair. Are they enjoying it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a culture shock for them after homeschooling, grade 1 to 8, and then heading off to the big world. But yeah, no, they transitioned really nicely.
That's good. It's nice to hear those kinds of stories, because you get the naysayers that say, oh, your children are weird and they're going to be socially awkward. There's so far from the truth for modern homeschool kids.
Or that they'll be behind if you don't buy the $1,000 program.
Yeah,
we've heard it all. And of course, like, as mom, you're worrying every day about whether are we doing enough? Are they going to be behind? Especially if you're going to put them back in school, and just like the mom guilt. But
the mom guilt, definitely. And I actually, I had a lot of, one of the benefits, actually, sorry, one last thing. One of the benefits of Schoolio that I found also is that my mom guilt used to come from, is he retaining any of this? Is it sticking? Is it, is there something happening here? Anything. And so many a time when we're talking about something like there was a specific instance I had, there was a unit in kindergarten about seasons and leaves changing, I think. Yeah, we did a whole coloring of the tree, and with the fingerprints, I think. Yeah, and so we were walking through a forest at one point years ago, and I remember this very clearly. He looked at me. He's like, just like in my book, the leaves are orange, and I, like, my heart, I was like, oh, thank you. And it was just so nice, because the activities are so engaging for them too, and just different. Like, you're not just saying, color this in with a pencil crayon. It's fingerprinting of the different colors, and I think that's really, like, it's really important for a child that doesn't necessarily learn through a book to do it by hand, and that was pretty neat.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, we really enjoy Schoolio. I think we'll stick with you guys until hopefully the bitter end.
That's awesome. And hopefully we can get some high school stuff written before your second grader gets to grade 8.
Well, they might also change and go to public. I hope not, but
yeah. Well, that's the beauty of homeschooling, right? 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
See what works while it works.
Yes, definitely. For sure.
Well, thank you so much for meeting me today.
Thank you for making the time. That's awesome. This was fun.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So thank you and have an awesome day.
You too.
If you need anything or you have questions, like just send me an email or post in the community, the Facebook group. I'm always around.
Okay. Thank you, Lindsay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.